Guess who feels like organizing her whole house today? Welcome back to another one of our Living with the Moon series, where I basically take a look at what sign the moon is for the day. And I try to sort of do activities or change up my routine, organize my day around activities that would suit the sign that the moon is in, as well as the house that that sign falls in my birth chart. So today the moon is in Virgo, of course, and I woke up feeling like I want to organize my whole house, I want to organize my whole life. So that's quite fitting. Sign of Virgo is also in my second house. So I have thought of a couple of things that we could do today that sort of fit the sign of Virgo as well as the second house. But before we get started, let's go ahead and change my bed sheets. I need to do my laundry. Cleaning can a lot of times be an activity that just feels very nice for a Virgo because they like to be quite meticulous, detail oriented. So I'm curious to see if I enjoy doing my laundry a little bit more than usual because the moon is in Virgo. And then after I do my laundry, I'm just gonna go ahead and make myself a cup of coffee, chill out. It's Sunday morning. I think a Virgo moon can be so focused on improving herself, on making things perfect, that it forgets to just calm down, take a breath. So I'm gonna do that, and I'll come back afterwards to let you know how doing the laundry went.
Late night in the Hollywood Hills, starlight and social life thrills, heart-stopping thrill. Looks that
All right, laundry is done. I wouldn't say I saw really a difference in doing laundry during a Virgo moon versus any other regular day. So I would just say do your laundry whenever you need to do laundry. There's no need to wait for a Virgo moon.
starlight.
After having my coffee and doing my laundry, I decided that it was time to take care of my plants. I usually do this on the weekend, on Saturday or Sunday. And actually, Virgo can be, because it's an earth sign, it can be a sign that very much enjoys nature, having a garden, taking care of plants. And I gotta say, I did really enjoy it. I don't always enjoy taking care of my plants. Sometimes it feels like more of a chore than other times. But today was not one of those days. So if you have lots of plants like me, see if you can sort of do your plant business when the moon is in Virgo.
Late night, Sunset Boulevard, headlights of luxury cars, wherever you are.
All right, so since it is a Virgo moon today and it's also Sunday, I think what would really help me is just to put a plan for the week ahead down on paper. And there's a specific way that I usually like to do this. First, I start out with a brain dump. This is just listing down all of the things that are sort of in my head as like to-dos. And it doesn't necessarily have to be for the week ahead. As a matter of fact, I have an event that I'm going to all the way in June. I need to buy an outfit for it. And it doesn't need to happen next week since the event is so far away. But it is something that's sort of in my mind that I know, hey, it's something I need to do. So I'm going to write down literally everything just to relieve some pressure from my brain, and just seeing it down on paper makes me feel a little bit more relaxed. So let's go ahead and do that first. All right, so the list or the brain dump list is now finished. I tore it off and put it here to the side. What I'm going to do now is look at that list and determine which things need to be done this week. For example, I have something that I want to buy for my apartment, and I have a discount code, and I know that discount code is about to expire soon. So that's something that I know, hey, I really need to get that done this week because I want to use the discount code. And I'm going to keep in mind not to be too optimistic. I think Virgos can definitely sometimes overschedule their lives. But to also keep in mind what are sort of the reoccurring weekly things happening in my life. And actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to list out sort of my weekly reoccurring activities. And then after that, see how much time I have left and which activities from the brain dump list I can fit into this week. So for example, I like to go to the gym about 2 to 3 times a week. So I'm going to write that down as my non-negotiable. I, of course, have filming and editing 2 YouTube videos this week. And one of the other ones that I want to do this week is make sure I read at least 2 hours from my new astrology book. So now that I have these sort of 3 daily or weekly reoccurring activities, my non-negotiables, I'm going to take a look and see, hey, maybe I have a couple of hours looking at this where I could fit some of those leftover brain dump items. And I'm going to go through that list and see what I can add specifically to do this week. Nice. So I am finished with my list. I actually really enjoyed that. I do have my natal moon is in Virgo. So I do usually really love making these lists all the time. But I can imagine if you're somebody that doesn't enjoy that as much, and maybe you do usually sit more on the disorganized side, that maybe see if you can take a day when the moon is in Virgo to organize yourself, especially if it doesn't come natural to you. I am curious if this energy will really sort of make things flow and make things make more sense, for example. One of the final things that I'm going to do next, just on my sort of online calendar, is try and sort of time block these activities, this list that I just made, into specific time slots for the day. And the reason I do this is because there were a couple of weeks ago when I felt actually quite overwhelmed and like I was running out of time for all the things I wanted to do in a week. And I think what was sort of happening is that I wasn't putting my number one priorities right at the beginning of the week. I was sort of doing the easier tasks at the beginning of the week that maybe weren't as high priority, that were sort of, I don't know, easy to do, sort of mindlessly, maybe a little bit more fun to do. And then what would happen is middle of the week, end of the week, I would start stressing because my high priority items, things I wanted to do, were not finished yet. So looking at this list that I made, I can already identify, hey, YouTube is high priority and going to the gym. So I'm going to make sure that I schedule those on probably Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then the rest of the time, like the Thursday or the Friday and the weekend, I'm going to slot in the other activities that are not so high priority.
And just like that, it was the end of the day. I ended up putting some new bed sheets on, and I actually needed to study for an upcoming exam that I have. So I wanted to see if sort of the analytical side of a Virgo moon could help me out. Honestly, I think I was just too tired at this point. It was late. I was ready for bed. I hope you enjoyed this Virgo moon routine, and I hope to see you again soon.
Black dress, smoky silhouette, collecting our bets for lovers.